Well, what's going on, everyone? BouseFeenux here. Hope you're all having a wonderful week, and welcome to another video. So today I was met with the exciting news that we're going to be receiving the Spectres of the Rail update very soon, and as it usually does, the impending news of a large update got me thinking about little things here and there that I'd like to see added to the game. The little changes are most commonly referred to as quality of life changes, and they typically aren't game-changing in a way that a huge content add-on is, but they do add a little bit of extra enjoyability and ease of play to a game. So, after doing some thinking of my own and asking a few of my buddies, we came up with a short list of additions we'd like to see added to Warframe, and it's with that I present to you 4 ways Warframe could be better. The first change on the list came to me when I was working on that Lenka video yesterday. I thought it was interesting that the Lenka was the only sniper rifle weapon to have an 8 punch through, and I find it very curious that outside of bows, more weapons don't possess that ability. What I'm getting at here is that there are quite a few weapons in the game that the community and myself feel should have punch through on them from the get-go. One in particular is the Opticore. It's a giant freaking laser beam Spartan cannon from Halo thing, and you're telling me that an arrow can pierce through several armored targets, but a supercharged beam of energy can't? It just seems really weird. Now, obviously, I'm not a game developer, but I feel like punch-through on weapons is pretty common in most modern games, and I really feel that high-caliber weapons like other sniper rifles and most shotguns should at least be able to shoot through a couple of targets without having to mod for it, especially considering the way enemy spawns work in this game. At the higher levels of some mission types, the number of enemies on screen, or enemy density as it's sometimes called, is staggering. It'd be super nice to not have to lose a mod slot to punch through, and would give players a more tactical choice in selecting weapons for a mission. Additionally, it might give us a reason for choosing one weapon over another for any given mission. Our next point is a little less exciting from a, hey, you can kill more dudes standpoint, but I feel like this change would be an extremely welcome addition to the game. That change would be the ability to build items in stacks. Now, I know already that there are items that there are a stack version of their singular counterpart. For example, we have the restore packs that you can build 10 of at a time, or the ciphers, but what I'm talking about is the ability to set your foundry to build several of those items at once. Like, let's say you've got tons of resources sitting around and you need to build 50 Auric and Deerlick keys for whatever reason, right? Well, with the current foundry system, it would take you 50 minutes to build all of those keys or anything else you'd want to build. Let's say that if the foundry system were to change, however, you'd be able to build a stack of however many keys or whatever other items you wanted to build. Now, I know DE will probably never go for this system of crafting because of things like Forma and how much revenue they probably bring in just from those, but what if you could at least set your foundry to queue up projects so that way they at least build one after the other without you having to babysit them? To sum it all up, having to babysit my foundry when I could be out playing the actual game is something I currently have a massive problem with in this game. Our third topic is one that I've seen a lot from the Warframe community pretty much since I started playing this game, and for those of you that trade often with other players, this one might hit home for you. I really feel that a fantastic addition to Warframe would be an auction house. I know that we have Maru's Bazaar on Earth, but have any of you actually tried using it? It's crowded and confusing, plus to sell anything you actually have to be there in person. Auction houses and MMOs are by no means a new concept. Games like World of Warcraft and RuneScape have been doing this for decades. DE has actually talked about implementing this change, but Maru's Bazaar is about as far as we've gotten. The common theory behind this, and the one that makes the most sense, is that DE doesn't want to make trading too easy for players, as with the current system, most people give up on the toxicity of trade chat and dealing with people, and instead just buy platinum for whatever they need. This may seem really scummy, but in all honesty, it's just smart business. It still sucks for us, though. Moving on to less serious and potentially less riot-inducing topics, this next addition to Warframe, and the last point on our list, would be a pretty short and sweet one to throw in the game. Have you ever made a mistake in a menu in this game and wish you could reverse it? Well, if Warframe had an undo function in its menus, you could. Think about all the times you've accidentally hit OK when fusing cores into a mod you didn't mean to use, or have accidentally transmuted that mod you needed only to have to live with your costly mistake. By adding a reverse or undo function to its menus, DE would most likely be able to save a lot of players from heartache. I also feel this would be extremely helpful when modding weapons. Sometimes you take a mod off of a build for a second, and no matter how you have your mods sorted, the remove mod just vanishes into oblivion, only for you to have to root back through your collection to find it again. I know this isn't too much of a change to the game, but I can't be the only one that thinks it would be useful. And there you have it, guys. 4 ways Warframe could be better. I know there are probably a ton of other things out there that you guys could add, but this is what I came up with just off the top of my head and by asking around, so feel free to share your ways Warframe could be better in the comments, and if this does well enough, maybe we'll turn your suggestions into a video. I mean, after all, farming your viewers for content is the hot new thing, right guys? Anyway, I've been BouseFeenux, I'll see you guys at the next video, and as always, thank you so much for watching.